Hello. Hey, y'all. If it's your first time catching me live, where you from? Introduce yourself. I know that I've got some new people. Some people that have been here for a while. I don't go live as much as I used to, but nonetheless, introduce yourself. How did you find my page? Do you like it here? Do you love it here? Is there some other content that you want to see? Let me know. I've been doing these lives for not 8 years now, but a little under 8 years, where we just come on here and we kick it. We have a little girl talk. Sometimes, the guys slide through. But we talk about life, love, dating, relationships, all the things. So if you have a question or something that you want to discuss, by all means, put it in the questions box and then we can discuss it. Denisha and Callie living in Houston, period. Thank you. Carla from Georgia, been following, just never quit alive. Okay, I used to live in Georgia. It's my first time. My name is Gwendolyn from Nigeria. Hello, Gwendolyn from Nigeria. I love Nigeria. Love, love, love me some Nigeria. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. So our first question is coming from my brother tonight. So let's just go ahead and get into it. How are you able to differentiate a man's honest mistake with identifying a narcissist and writing him off? Alea, let me say Alina. Look, she pronounced it for me, and I still said it wrong, and I hope I said it right the last time. Alina. Hey, Liz. How long should you be okay with texting before a phone call? How did y'all meet? Give me more of a backstory, because that kind of matters, But honestly, if a phone call shouldn't take that long. But how long have y'all, how did y'all meet? What were the dynamics, etc.? Okay, so I don't think that there's too many things that are a mistake, right? Because everything is a decision. So I deliberately wanted to cheat on you. People say that was a mistake. That's not a mistake. That is, I decided to walk those actions out. Maybe you forgot something. Maybe you didn't consider me in something. I can see that as a mistake. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that. Right? Something like that, sure. But doing something disrespectful, that's not a mistake. That's on purpose. You did that on purpose. When it comes to identifying a narcissist, so here's the thing. I don't really try to identify people as a narcissist or not, but I just look at your behaviors. Because some people that we're saying are narcissists are really psychopaths. If we want to be honest. But I'm not here to diagnose anybody. But I look at people's behaviors and I can identify behaviors that I don't deal with. I don't deal with deflecting. I don't deal with gaslighting. I don't deal with blame shifting. I don't deal with the silent treatment, any type of manipulation. So it's not even that I'm trying to spot a narcissist. I'm just looking at your behaviors and whether or not those behaviors are acceptable for what it is that I'm trying to do. And when it comes to writing them off, as soon as I feel like you can't live up to my standard, you're out of here. And okay, you met him online. Okay, so you met him online. Y'all exchanged phone numbers. What made y'all take the conversation offline? Because you can do FaceTime and text and all that on the app. So what was the reason for taking it offline? And how long has he just been texting you? Because normally, when I did used to online date, if I exchanged phone numbers with you, it was because now I actually want to have a phone conversation, or we're getting ready to go on a date, that kind of deal. I don't just, what I'm saying? Because we could text in the app. What was the reason for him? What was the reason for y'all taking a conversation off the app? Because that's another thing. The conversation don't need to come off the app until you feel like we've had enough conversation where I'm like, oh, this is a quality person. I don't want to just keep checking the app to speak to them. Let's have a real conversation. Let's have a FaceTime or whatever it is. So that's what I would want to know. And honestly, the fact that you're asking me how long is too long, it sounds like he's just taking too long to pick up the phone and have a conversation with you. So here's the thing. Because women, we can initiate some things, right? If you want to switch from texting to call. I would just pick up the phone and call. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to figure out if this is somebody you want to invest more time in. So if you have a phone conversation with him and you realize from the first couple of questions that you asked him that y'all not in alignment, there's no need for y'all to continue talking. Because when you guys are texting, what are y'all texting about? Like, in those first couple of conversations, you need to get to the nitty gritty. Like, let's not waste each other's time. Especially if we met on a dating app. That means our intentions should be pretty clear based off of the app because it says what you're looking for. So if we're looking for the same thing and we've connected to the point where now we're taking the conversation offline, I can ask you the questions that will let me know if you're in alignment or not. And we'll take it from there. And I ask some pretty specific questions. I have a whole guide on vetting. Is he a man or is he a man of God? Because y'all know what's the big difference. And I've asked very specific questions because I want very specific answers. Okay? Let me see. Hey, y'all that's coming in. I have a very hard time finding quality Christian men who are actually Christian. It's like, yeah, I'm Christian, but I don't do no wait until marriage. So, at the end of the day, if that's where you are in your walk with God, if that's what they say, they're just not your person. The end, right? And the reality of it is you're going to have to filter through the people that are not it until you find the person that's it. But what happens is people get fatigued while trying to be found. And the reality of that is you're dating the wrong way. If you're getting fatigued, that means you're emotionally investing too much, mentally investing too much, and you don't even know if this person is worth anything. So if you meet somebody and off the rip, you find out that you guys aren't aligned in some type of area that concerns your values and your standards, cut them off immediately. Like, oh, okay, well, it was nice meeting you. This is something that's a non-negotiable for me. I hope you find who you're looking for. That way we're not spending time getting to know each other and these fairy tale butterflies start coming into the mix. And then now it's like, oh, I like him, but he don't do this one thing. And then you start to compromise. Once you see that they ain't it. Just peace out. Be gone. Like, be done. How do I find enjoyment again in dating? Because I truly don't like it. Ah, you're so right. Yeah, if you don't like it, you're just doing it wrong. And I've been saying this for years. Because once you see the type of you have to make sure your discernment is so sharp that you know exactly who you're dealing with when you meet them. Like, I can have one conversation with a guy and I immediately know if this is somebody that is worth another conversation or someone that's not worth another conversation. We just have to stop psyching ourselves out. Got to stop psyching ourselves out. The quicker you cut the wrong person off, the easier dating is. Dating gets hard when you become exhausted because you're investing too much. Or because you're hoping and praying and you're like so thirsty and desperate to find somebody that you're like, oh, I can't find anybody. Versus, I know that there's somebody out there for me. I know that they'll come when the time is right. I'm a beautiful, confident, well-kept woman. And there's no need to rush for perfection. Not like he's going to be perfect, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have your mindset. Like, that's the biggest thing. If you keep going into dating thinking every guy is the same, every guy is going to be the same. It's a proven fact. If you in here think that every guy is going to be the same and you keep meeting the same guy, it's your belief system. One major thing that shifted for me back in 2020 was I said there's an abundance of quality men looking for me. An abundance. Right? Now, did that mean every quality man that I met was the one for me? No. Even with quality men, you still have to vet them. Because they can be a good guy, just not your guy. And then, of course, there's always going to be a couple roaches that, get through the cracks. But you're going to attract all type of men, regardless. Okay? You just have to know who is who. And get rid of the ones that ain't for you quicker before they piss you off. Or before you become emotionally invested. And then also know who you're dealing with. Know who you're dealing with. At the end of the day, Because how many of you can say you met a guy, you knew from the beginning that he probably wasn't going to be the best, but he was fine, funny, y'all had a little bit of chemistry, and you kept going forward knowing good and well you had already saw at least one sign that was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Because we always know. God built an internal detecting system called discernment that is in us. And it's very strong. And we just be like, well, maybe. We start all these hypotheses and compromise in our mind. Maybe things will be like that. No, ma'am. Who you see is exactly who you're getting. That's the hard part. How do you actually know who you're dealing with? Like, what traits do you look for? Red flags. It's discernment. Discernment is not a trait, and it's not a red flag. It's your spirit. So you have to start at the foundation of your relationship with God. If your relationship with God isn't solid enough that you can't see who is who, you don't need to be dating at all. Let's just be clear. Because you probably got some fake friends too that you can't see for who they are. If your relationship with God ain't solid, men should be the last thing on your mind. You should be thinking about, let me get this foundation solid. Okay? Also, too, if you go through some of my content, I put a lot of things out there, even here recently, like the different slides, like giving you guys different things that, for instance, let me look at one. Giving you basically the game, okay? Oh, is my phone not on the Wi-Fi? Is it on the right Wi-Fi? Okay. Let's see. And I'm not going to read all of these, but this one was about emotionally unavailable partners. Some of the things that you can look for, they make you feel like you have to earn their love, right? They're not vulnerable. You feel like you have to kind of like crack a code to get them to open up. Ain't nobody doing all of that. And also, too, you need to know how you want to be pursued, how you want to be treated from the beginning. From the beginning. As soon as the conversation starts going left, or you're like, oh, he's communicating like a little boy, or whatever it is, get out of there. Do not waste your time. I'm telling you, I found out down low, I found a narcissist probably they out here. They out here, honey. I was just writing in my journal, I keep praying for my husband, but I haven't fully surrendered to Christ. How am I praying essentially for God to send me a man that I'll love more than him? Okay? It don't work like that. Right? All the first red flags. Communication. I look at how you communicate, how often you communicate. I pay attention to everything. And then as soon as I feel something in my spirit go, I'll be like, okay, God, what was that? Show it to me. What's going on? Like, what traits, red flags to look for to truly know who you're dealing with. That spiritual foundation being so strong, it deters everyone that comes around. So there are these long stretches of no dating. How would you advise women to deal with that and keep their confidence up? Your confidence is not in a man. Where's the foundation of your confidence? That's the first question. What makes you feel confident? If your confidence is fully reliant in your relationship status, you need to start over. You need to start over. Because you should be confident because of all of these other amazing attributes that you have about yourself, right? I'm confident because I'm I'm confident because I read books that fill my brain with positivity. I'm confident, hey Jazz, I'm confident because I have amazing friends around me that build me up and they don't drain me. I'm confident because I speak well of myself. I'm confident because I take care of myself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, right? I'm confident because I go for what I deserve and I don't settle for anything less. And that's in any area of my life, whether it's my career, my friendships, what I eat, where I go, etc. Right? So that starts outside of that. And let me tell you something. Confident women, men love confident women. Love confident women. Love confident women. And you want to know why? Because most of this highly confident women are confident because of stuff that has everything to do with them and not to do with them. Men love self-centered women, actually. Not selfish, self-centered. That's where the chase comes in. The woman that once they get this man and then they make it all about him and they adjust in their schedules, you're always available, you get boring. You're boring because how many men actually do that for you? Most of them don't. Have your own life. Have your own things going on. And also, if you're going through long stretches of not dating because you know exactly what you want and you're not willing to settle, that's not a bad thing. Fill that time with better things to do. Okay? Fill that time with better things to do. Invest that time into some new goals, some new hobbies. There's a lot of women waiting, but they're not waiting well. You're not doing anything while you're waiting, or all you're doing is you're going to work, you're going to church, you're going home. You might go out to something every once in a blue, but you're not really exploring the things that you really want to do. Right? Another thing too, sometimes it's okay not to be dating nobody. It's okay just to be I'm chilling. And ain't nobody's son stressing me out. Ain't nobody's son bothering me. I'm at peace. I got stuff to do. I got a book to write. I got content to create. I'm talking to myself. I always have something to do. I got an email to respond to. I got somebody to call back that I haven't called back. I got text messages to respond to. I got DMs from y'all I got to respond to. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality of it is men, the quality men that have their life together and they have their own schedule and their own routines, most of them, they're not going to break that routine from you unless they feel like you're worth it. And I mean, women that have their own stuff going on, they will rearrange their schedule. If it's dang, if they really want you, they're going to pursue you. Then they'll rearrange it. When they see you're not going to rearrange your schedule, they'll rearrange theirs if they really like you. But in the beginning, men are supposed to pursue. Let that man pursue you. Because, and are y'all on the T app? Any of y'all on the T app? I just got in. Now, I was already a part of some groups on Facebook called Are We Dating the Same Guy? So it's essentially the same thing. It's just on an app now. But some of the things that I see come through those groups, I just be looking all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided. I read some of the stories that the girls go through, and I'm just so you didn't know right there when he did that you wasn't supposed to deal with him no more. Gotta stop dating out of desperation, ladies. I dated a guy that opened another gym membership near me just to accommodate his schedule. Okay. Because they will. If they want to, they will. And even when they start making that don't mean let your guard down. When they start, pursuing, it don't mean let your guard down. You got to have them scared enough just a little bit that they can't play with you. Just enough. One wrong move and I'm out of here. I've never been chosen because I always choose wrong. Shake my head. This is a needed sister chat. Them groups have really deterred me from dating. So here's one thing. A lot of the people that are posted in those groups, I would never date anyway. If you are seeing men posted in those groups that you feel like you would have fell for the trap to, then back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Because your discernment shouldn't be that weak. It shouldn't be that weak. But I look at a lot of, like, I haven't seen one guy come through those groups. I'd be like, oh yeah, I would have dated him. I'd be like, oh yeah, and I wouldn't even, wouldn't. But you got to have a standard. You have to have a type. You have to have your non-negotiables. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of men that, I had this conversation the other day, and I said there's a lot of, because the gentleman was saying to me, he was like, pretty girls always have options, so it's hard dealing with pretty girls, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, it's not hard dealing with pretty girls. I said, because I'm a pretty girl. And I said, while there may be people that are interested, that doesn't make them an option. Just because there's a man that's interested, you're not an option to me unless I think you're an option for me, because I have a criteria. You know what I'm saying? I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for, right? So you guys have to know what you want, what you look for, have criteria, have a standard, have your non-negotiables. It's always going to be somebody interested. I sit here like, I know why he's not mine and he's yours, sis. Okay. I'm fully persuaded. Better you than me, baby girl. Better you than me. Quality over quantity, okay? Like, because I go out and a bunch of guys drooling, not phased one bit, could care less. Could care less. And am I rude? No, I'm actually very social. Hi, da, 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 da. But no. And I still think online dating is a good tool, because I feel like people are still online dating with Facebook and Instagram. I feel like people just like, I got a girlfriend, she don't go nowhere really, but people find her on Instagram, and that's how she like has met guys and been dating. So online is still effective. You gotta still bring your discernment. Long distance relationships, it's for people that can handle them. I don't think they're for everybody. Have I had them before? Yeah. Was it a hassle? No. But I think the reality of it is if you get into a relationship with someone that is long distance, that means you have both discussed there being an end goal of the distance being closed. I wouldn't get in a relationship with a man that doesn't have a plan to close the distance. It just doesn't make sense, because then what are we going to be, pen pals and just traveling back and forth for years? No, I'm not doing that. Let's have a plan to close the gap if we're going to get into a relationship. But if any relationship, if both parties want it to work, it will work. It will work, but it'll take sacrifice from both sides. Oh no. Oh my God. I did not know she passed. Oh, that sucks. What a beautiful soul. Dang, I'm gonna have to look at that more later. I just need to grab me by the ponytail when I'm talking to the wrong guy. I mean, yes, the discernment too, but sometimes you need to be yanked into reality. That's me. Yeah. No, seriously, sometimes you do. Sometimes because sometimes you be like, okay, I know I shouldn't, but then you get a little curious. You look that curiosity, leave it alone. Don't get too curious. Don't get too curious. Don't get too curious. Because there's been situations where I'd be like, there's situations in the past where I've been like, you knew better. You knew better. Yet and still, the fire was in front of you. You still wanted to touch it. And then the only person you could blame is yourself. Like, once you know better, and you know better, you start doing better, and then you go back to not doing better, you'd be like, all right, I can't even be mad because I know better now. I know better. I stay burning myself on a hot stove. I'm a recovering burn addict. Honey, stay away from the fire. Because the reality is like you don't want to look up one day and be like, dang, I settled for this person, and if I would have just chilled, I would have ended up with somebody so much better. And you got to take yourself out the rat race. There's no time limit on when love will find you. Like, take yourself out of the rat race. And it's natural for you to desire partnership. I'm not saying that that's not a natural thing. And those are things that you can, when you have your moments, cry out to God. Like, I've been doing this and doing that, but I really would love to have someone to do life with as well. And right now I'm having a moment where I feel like, my faith is blah, blah, blah. Like, be honest with God, give it to God, but then leave it there and get back to work. Because it's natural to have the feeling of, dang, I really want some companionship and you don't have it. But it should not be like the main leading source, if that makes sense. Ooh. I need to get like one of those mobile desks so I can, because I've been doing this a lot and I need to be like up here. How can I rewire myself back into the dating game? I had a long-term relationship which lasted 9 years, and I feel like I've been so hesitant to start dating. I've been single for a year. So what have you been doing during that year? I have a lot of guides too on my website, like for the girls that want to date. If you go to shop, if you comment me, a link will be sent to your DM, and it'll take you to my website. And I have a bunch of guides on healing, getting back into the dating game, online dating, all types of things. So, but the main thing is, what did you do while you were healing? I just had a moment a couple months ago. Back like, God, I just want a hug. It's been too long. I've gotten my hugs from my sisters in Christ, so he hears us. Yes. But yeah, before you start dating, and the most important thing is, what did you do while you weren't dating? Like, did you really do the healing? Did you really do the work? Right? But like, honestly, you have to become so self-centered after like not that long of a relationship, focus on yourself to build yourself back up to a place where it's like, okay, those 9 years, that was one chapter. This is a new chapter. What is this new chapter going to look like? And that can look like going to therapy. That can look like going to start working out again. We all should be working out at least 30-minute walks a day at minimum. Like, we're getting more mature, ladies. Our bodies aren't going to be the same way they used to. We've got to keep our bodies moving, right? What goals am I knocking off? Am I climbing my career ladder? Am I building my business? What is it? Like, throw yourself into things that have to do with you. So that way you can't get distracted when you do put yourself back out there. Because a lot of people, they don't date. They close themselves off. and they think that when they get back out there that they're going to date with a different mindset. You still have the same mindset. I feel like I desire helpmate. Dating with a child is so hard. I want to know what that support and love feels like. Also, watch our words. Like, watch what you believe, and watch, put Cheetos away. Watch what you believe and watch what you profess. Okay? Because if you say it's so hard to do this, guess what? It's going to be hard for you, because you have now affirmed that this thing is hard for you. You say, oh, it's so hard to work out. It's so hard to eat right. It's so hard to do this. And I cancel all of that in the name of Jesus. It's so hard to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to be hard for you. It's so hard to date. Dating is going to be hard for you. So just like you have to speak life into, like, you know, people are really good about affirming their business ideas and all of these other areas of their life, but you have to have that same positive mindset when it comes to your love life as well. Or your love life is going to be the sum total of your thoughts as well. It's going to be the sum total of your beliefs, right? So if that's how your mind is wired, you need to start thinking better things. You need to start putting yourself in better audiences. And social media will brainwash you. Like, filter who you actually watch on social media, because a lot of that stuff could be subconsciously programming you. How do you deal with a man who is very available, communicating well, and the next minute he's just distant? I don't. Consistency is very important to me. So as soon as a man is not consistent, he gets a what did they call a pink pass out. I don't deal with inconsistency, and you shouldn't either. Inconsistency, non-negotiable. Because there's a reason you're doing it, and I'm not about to play Inspector Gadget to figure out why. I will have a conversation with you and say, hey, I'm noticing X, Y, and Z. You know, is everything good? You know, I really value consistency in the person that I'm seeing, and that I'm seeing with the potential of a relationship. But I see that there's a little inconsistency here. And if something is happening, like, oh yeah, my bad, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, cool. You get one time to say it won't happen again, and then once it happens again, then, you know, hey, I already addressed this. It was really nice getting to know you, but consistency is really that important to me, and it's one of the core values that I need in a man that I see myself with in the future. Good day. I hope you found what you're looking for, because it ain't gonna be me with inconsistency. And if they still on that, okay, like, the gift, you're going to get the gift of goodbye. And I don't care if we have been getting to know each other for 3 months, 6 months. Soon as you start falling under my standards, hey, let's have a little chit chat. Have a little chit chat, because I believe in, you know, communication and the ability to fix things, especially as you're getting to know that person. Everything's not going to be perfect. Everybody doesn't, you know what I mean? But no, we're all grown. And communication should be one of the easiest things. If you don't start anything that you can't uphold. Now, if I was talking to somebody and they were sporadic in their conversation, like from when I first met them, I would expect that. But if you are consistent and then you go dry or distant, something happened. Something happened, or somebody happened. And a lot of times, they're really available in the beginning. They're communicating very well in the beginning until they get what they want. And then when they get what they want, they no longer see you as a challenge. They see you as, oh, okay, she's just like other girls. And I'll talk to her when I'm ready. So how should we get back out in dating? If you're looking to get back out in dating, comment me. There's going to be a link that's going to send you to my website. And when you go to my website, you're going to go to Dating Development Resources. And there's a plethora of things in there. There's actually a guide called Ready to Love Again. Transforming into a feminine, confident woman of God. Wife in Progress, a biblical guide for single women, dating and discernment. Overcoming heartbreak. Emotional regulation in dating. Dating vetting questions. The Dating Detox, which is a popular one. The Journey to Forgiveness, if you need to forgive somebody. So comment me. If you need the link to my website, comment me and the link will be sent to you. Online Dating Manual. Overcoming Rejection. Love Languages in a Digital World. Breaking Free and Overcoming Toxic Narcissistic Relationships. Discerning God's Will in Relationships. You can even book a one-on-one call with me if you need to. There's a book on co-parenting with a narcissist. Okay? A guide to owning your power and attracting quality love. I want you to start with the resources that I have out there for you and put in the work. There's a self-love, acceptance, and healing bundle too. There's a dating done right bundle. There's a toxic love recovery bundle. There's a bunch of things in here to help you get where you need to be. I had a man literally admit that he overpromised and underdelivered. I asked myself why I let it get this far. When they show you or tell you who they are, believe them. Believe them. How long should I wait to date if I just got out of a bad relationship? Side of emotional manipulation and betrayal. I would focus on myself for a little while. I would make sure that I am not in a space where I would put myself in a position where I would let somebody emotionate any type of manipulation. I would sit with myself for a while because it's likely that he's not the only person that has tried to manipulate you. There might be other places where people have tried to manipulate you, and you might need to set boundaries all around. So I would sit back and I would do like an evaluation of everybody in my life, everything in my life, and where I let people get me messed up, and I would start putting in new boundaries. I would do the healing work. I would forgive, all of the things. Look, the way I used to get over heartbreak was fasting. Now, my heart don't get broke, but yeah. And let me know if it sent the message to y'all into y'all's DMs. Hey, good evening. I was tuning in and I started to freeze up, so I logged off. I ordered one of your books, was still waiting on to come. Okay, so it is sending it. Okay, yeah. So all of that, any of those links will take you to my website. Hey, sis. Hey, girl. How you doing? I still would love for you and your boo to come on here and tell y'all love story when you're ready. When you're ready. Are you a certified life coach now? If not, I think you should be. I have been a certified Christian life coach since 2015 and have gotten several certifications over the years to expand my my knowledge. So yes, I am a coach. And I was certified, and then I guess you can say recertified because I got other certifications in the meantime. I want her, Antoinette to tell her story when she wants to, and I want who's the other young lady that just got engaged? I literally was just talking to her in the comments. I forget, but I need to message her because I want to hear her story too. I want to hear how she found love. Yes, love a good love story. Good, ha, LOL, shout out to the Lord and Hinge. Okay, look, my good sis, when I was going to her church, I work on Sundays now, but so we would sit together every Sunday, and my good sis got on Hinge, and she found her man. They've been together for, I think, over a year now. God can do a quick work. And he's a good man. He's a godly man, too, and she found him on Hinge. So I know a lot of y'all be like, oh, the guy's on a dating apps, da-da-da-da-da-da. You might find a ram in the bush. You know, you have to have a mindset though. Like, you have to believe that what you want exists and that it can happen for you. She said goes to Hinge. I've actually seen quite a few Hinge stories, and I'm not in the online dating game anymore. But if I was to jump back in, I think Hinge was probably where I would start. Just because I've been seeing a lot of stories like pop up over social media of people connecting with really good guys on Hinge. Now, y'all know one of my main rules is what did I say? Dang, I just that quick. You said Bumble be making you mad. Bumble used to be my favorite one. Oh, that was what I was going to say. People that, don't settle and swipe left on the ones you don't know. Okay? Period. Don't. I will say a lot of people that I have known to get better matches, they pay. They have the paid version. I've done the paid versions of apps for like sometimes they do like a week special for you, and it'll be like $5, $7, something cheap, because they want you to pay. And I will say the matches that you get when you do the paid version versus the free are better. They're better. I remember we had a young lady that she went on 40 dates until she found her husband, and they met on Match.com, I think. Yep. All right, any other questions? What else y'all want to talk about? I just hopped on here because I literally be saying here like, y'all, I need to hop on live. I need to hop on live. And then I go lay down and I get lost in something else, or I throw myself into something else, and then I look up and I'm not on live. Oh yeah, if it's spiritual, if their profile says spiritual, what have I been up to, girl? Living my life like it's golden. If you could give advice to your younger self, what advice would you tell them? Like 3 things. One, I would have told myself to go to therapy in my 20s. I would have invested differently in my 20s. And what else? I think that's really it. I think that's really it. I would have done my 20s just a little bit differently, not a whole lot differently, because I really don't have too many regrets, because a lot of decisions I made, good or bad, got me to where I am today. And I can't say that I regret too much of anything. It's saying I got a message, but there's no message in here. Okay, there we go. Sis, if I have to ask him why his not being consistent, will that not make me look desperate? Rather, I should ghost him and talk when I feel like it. No, ghosting and doing that just starts like a bad game. If you're going to stop talking to him, tell him you're going to stop talking to him. Like, you want to develop a sense of maturity that you don't react negatively because of what they do. Because then it's like they have control over you. You want to make sure you're still poised, you're still polished, you're still professional, you're still a lady, you're still feminine, you're still a great communicator, regardless of what they do. Right? What you need to make a decision of is he worth a conversation? Because you've been dating him, I haven't. Is he worth a conversation? Or should you just want to send him a text? Honestly, you can go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, We'll do it right now. A guy I've been dating is starting to be inconsistent. This is a deal breaker for me. But I want to have a conversation and convey this to him as a grown woman. How should I address this situation? And this is just like a really short, because I would be more specific if it was me. It says, hey, I wanted to be upfront with you about something. I noticed the consistency in our communication and effort seems to have shifted. And for me, that's something I pay attention to. I value clarity and effort in connections I build. And when that starts to feel shaky, I take a step back to reassess. I'm not bringing this up to pressure you. I just think it's fair to express where I'm at. If something has changed on your end, it's okay to say that. I'm just not in a season of entertaining anything that feels inconsistent or unclear. Hello. And you send that with no hopes of him changing. Of you want the truth, because if this is who he is, then that's your sign. Okay, well, if this is who you're going to be, I'm out. You can give your inconsistency to somebody else. But if he's like, oh, she's not playing with me, let me tighten up, and he gets his act together, cool. Maybe you can proceed. So I lived a lot of life in my 20s, and in 29, I've been married, divorced, heartbroken, etc. But in my 30s, I want to unlearn those bad habits and love me better. I know that's right. Listen. I'm quick, especially like if I'm working on something. Hey, can you reword this for me? If I'm sending a work email, hey, reword this for me and make it sound like da-da-da-da. Me and ChatGPT go together real bad. I think it's a great business tool. I'll say that. Not therapy sessions. Don't do that now. You don't want to have a therapy session with the chat. My soft behind, like, make it nicer. Look, say it with your. I be wanting to be like, say more firm. Say it with your chest. How often do you go live? Now I feel like I haven't been seeing you live. I don't have a schedule, but if you want to see any old lives, you can go to my YouTube channel. There's plenty to binge watch. And they're long, so if you like putting on like podcasts or videos and just letting them play while you do stuff, I have plenty of them on YouTube. And it says, this approach holds a mirror up to his behavior without attacking, sets your standard without begging or demanding, leaves space for him to either show up or fall off. Either way, you win. I be on my Bruno Mars. No chat, leave the door open. My best friend, male, for over 20 years, just told me he's in love with me and really thinks we should give us a chance. He knows me, my wants, my needs, and what I want from a man and in my relationship. I'm afraid. What are your thoughts? Have you been secretly in love with your best friend for 20 years? That's what really matters. I have a male best friend, but me and my male best friend, we have no attraction to each other whatsoever. It would never happen. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that there are some people that they're friends, and secretly it's like we're really like we should be a couple, but we're not. Okay, yes, you feel the same way. Okay. I think the best way for you to approach this, because you don't want to lose 20 years of friendship, y'all need to sit down and have some really hard conversations first. Have some hard y'all best friends 20 years, y'all know a lot about each other. Hey, before we take this plunge, because honestly there's not too much getting to know, you would just have to actually date each other. Now you need to have different conversations, and I would have those hard conversations right up here, like, hey, you my dog, and I don't want to lose my friend at the end of the day. Let's make sure we're romantically compatible first. But hey, you never know. Because there are stories where you look up and it's like, you know what, my husband's been sitting in front of my face this whole time and we just were not seeing each other. But if you secretly wanted to date him too, then y'all should have been. Y'all should have been exploring. No, timing is everything. So maybe this is the time. But I would explore with so much wisdom. And I would move very slow. Very slow. Because once you cross some certain lines, and also put some boundaries in place. Like, once you cross certain boundaries, there is no turning back. Keep your legs closed. Get some accountability. Date like that. But that's sweet. Keep me posted. If you guys end up being a thing, I want y'all to come back and tell me, like, remember when I said that I might, I was talking to this guy. Well, guess what? We getting married. I like when y'all come back and tell me the good stories. Timing is everything. Great advice to be clear. Stay, yeah. My leg's been closed since 2022. Period. Keep him there. Look, and so good. So he knows that. That's your best friend. So there should be no gray area there. Keep me posted, girl. You never know. You never know. I ain't got nobody that sent. No, I ain't never had no male friend that I was just like, maybe we should have dated. I ain't got one of them. Another reason why I ain't really been going live over here is because I be on TikTok. Like, I love TikTok. It is so entertaining. It is so entertaining. Look, one of my shows on right now. Oh, I don't plan on going live on TikTok. I probably should, but I don't feel like my audience over there is like how it is here. No, I think I post on this platform more than any other platform. I've been posting on TikTok here more recently because I have TikTok shop samples and things like that. So I'm like, okay, Jennifer, you have to make the content and I have to like get the algorithm going. And sometimes I'll post duplicate content on this page and that page. And I have a secret TikTok page that I'm growing. It's in experiment mode and it's faceless right now, so nobody knows it's me. But yeah, I'll be invested in all these little stories and court cases and stuff that be going on TikTok. I be forgetting I need to go live myself. Ooh, that look good. Roast beef, asparagus, and garlic bread. That looks really good. I've been following you since like 2018, but actually started paying attention within the last year. Well, hey, girl. I've had some people come and I've had some people go. It ain't nothing wrong with it because I think like, you know, the kind of my content has changed over the years, but also as you move to different seasons in your life, if the content doesn't resonate with you anymore, then you know, unfollow that person. Like if you're now in a happy relationship, you probably don't want to see things about single anything because you're in a happy relationship. So we need a single, we have one. We've had two. We've had two already. One was in Puerto Rico and one was in Raleigh. Listen, and I am like, I'm at the space now. I don't plan anything. Like I planned the one in Raleigh, but the trips and like out of the country and stuff, I don't plan those anymore. Companies come to me and they plan them, and then I let you guys sign up for them. And if you don't sign up, I don't want to hear, well, we needed this, we needed that. You're coming or you're not. Because I don't have the bandwidth to plan other stuff, to be honest with you. I noticed that when my friends and I go out, the men often approach my friend. She is small, petite, light skin with curly hair, and I'm happy when men want her, but I just noticed that all the men flock to her and ignore my other friend and I. What could be the problem? So, where are you going? That's the most important thing I want to know. Where are you going? Where is this happening at? Is this at the club? Also, I'm going to say this too. When you hyper focus, and not saying that you are, but when you focus on stuff like that, it takes you out of your own confidence, and that energy is felt. Because I have a group of beautiful women that I'm friends with. My best friend is a baddie. Here's the thing. Like, and I have like friends that are like Instagram aesthetic baddie, and then I have friends that are mommy mode baddies. You know what I'm saying? Certain men are attracted to a certain aesthetic. I will look at the aesthetic that he is attracted to, and that's going to tell me a lot I need to know about this man. There are some men who are only attracted to a certain aesthetic. Those men aren't for you if you're not theirs. But I also don't be checking for who be checking for my friends either. You know what I'm saying? I don't check for who be checking for my friends. When you have to stand in so much especially if you grow out with a group of girls, which is not recommended if you are going out and you want to be approached by men. Going out in groups is not necessarily the best way to do it. Will men still approach? Yes. But you also have you have to have the right confidence, honestly. Because there can be a woman who isn't small, light skinned, petite, with curly hair, but if she went, she's voluptuous, or whatever she is, if she shows up with the right confidence, everybody's going to be drawn to her. Everybody. So I think what the main thing here is that take that focus off of that. Because you shouldn't be looking at, oh, my homegirl is getting approached, but I'm not getting approached. And they're only approaching her because she's light-skinned, petite, and has curly hair. It puts you in and I'm not saying you're competing with your friend, but it kind of puts you in a silent competition with your friend. And it's like, you shouldn't even be looking at that. Like, know what kind of man that you're attracted to and that you would want. Because here's the thing, just because the men are flocking, that doesn't mean that you need to answer. 10 times out of 10, most of the men that are attracted to me or try to approach me, I would never talk to in real life. You know what I'm saying? Quality over quantity. So I don't look at I don't look at my friends and be like, oh, she's the one that always gets talked to. No, of all my friends, we all get talked to. But all of my friends, we all are standing in our own uniqueness. None of us are looking at the next person like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never that. And I've seen girls be out and seen girls fall out because of stuff like this. But I would stop comparing that. I would stop comparing that. That just doesn't seem healthy for friendship. Yeah, I don't think that you like don't like her or anything, and I think you are genuinely happy for her, but you looking at it that way it's showing a lack of confidence in you, because something about her aesthetic makes you feel like that makes her more attractive. And it's not true. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, she may, and I don't know the girl, she may have a certain energy or aura, or her spirit may be just drawing people. Like, a lot of people don't realize that here's the thing. It's been times I've gone out, I was coming from getting my lashes done. I had a scarf on my head. I had a knee brace on. I looked a hot diggity dog mess. Okay? Man chased me down in the parking lot. Nice Benz. Handsome man. Well put together. A man that I would typically go for. You are just so beautiful. Some people can see and feel a woman's genuineness, her love, her joy, her confidence. Like, some people, you have to exude that. And if you don't have that, and here's the other thing too, like, if you have the type of mind, if your mindset isn't right, you are going to attract all of the things that you're thinking, all of the things that you're believing, all the things that you're consuming. And what you don't realize is that on the inside of yourself, you have this pot full of poop that you have been taking in subconsciously or intentionally. And now you're not seeing the results that you're looking for. I swear to you, I walk out the door, I don't be thinking about no man. Ever. Ever. I'm caught. If a man can come and get my attention, good job. Good job for him, because most of the time I don't want the attention. Men like women who aren't attainable. If you can already pinpoint that when I go out, men don't approach me, men don't do this, men don't do that, you are really more male-centered than you think. Just gonna be honest with you. If you notice how all of this stuff about men, when you go out, you're more male-centered than you think, because you're going out for the wrong reasons. If you're going out for men, and you don't even really believe good men exist, and all of these other things, you're putting yourself in a bad place. But if you're going out because you want to go out, you want to have a good time, you're hanging out with your girls, you're confident within yourself, you've done all the inner work, all of that it's going to make you and your girls a magnet. There is no time I've ever gone out and me and my girls weren't a magnet, and not just because we were pretty. And so your friend is a liar. Your friend is a liar. Most men are not attracted to small, petite women. Not true. It's not true. Why do we have relationships where men are with women that are more voluptuous? Let me tell you something. I ain't met a man or dated a man, been married to a man, engaged to a man who said to me, oh, I prefer da-da-da-da-da. And you wanna know what they preferred? Me. They preferred me. You gotta start wanting to be around people that actually like you. Whoever's not your person in any type of way, baby, that you're not my person. I don't care. She said, baby, I got 2 stomachs and still get stopped. Okay? Listen, when I was at my thickest, when I was at my smallest, even after the beep, it ain't on you, it's in you. I believe me when I say it ain't on you. The more you actually glow from the inside, it shows on the outside. Trust me on this. That's why and this isn't why, but I admonish you to do the work. Do the hard work. Get deep down inside of your heart who you ain't forgave, who you got issues with, who you're offended by. Or do the hard work. What you don't like about yourself. What I don't like about myself. Is it my weight? You can change it. Is it my hair? I can change it. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you can change. And make yourself become the woman that you want to be. You don't feel like you're grounded mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Get in your word. Get in your bag. Get in your Bible. God, hey, I'm feeling a little lost. I need some grounding. I need to be anchored. Open up your word. God, in this time you have to get real honest with yourself. I compare myself to this person's career, this person's this. I don't feel like I'm this. Like, you have to have those real conversations with God and your therapist and uproot all of that junk, because people can see it. And I say that because when I go out, I see it in all types of people, women and men. I can see, oh, she still got a little buried right there. Oh, a little buried right there. But the first person you got to see it in is yourself. So you can work on it. And this is continuous work. You know what I'm saying? Because something to try to take root in your heart that you wasn't even thinking about. And you be like, ooh, why do I feel like this about this? Let me get this up off me. I told my boyfriend I need to lose some weight. He said, no, listen. And if you do want to lose the weight, you lose it for you. You know what I'm saying? A real man ain't gonna go nowhere because you lost a little weight. Especially if he really loves you, for you. Like, because think about it this way. How do you think couples stay together for years and years and years? The aesthetic changes. People change. But there has to be something about you that's like, I love this person for what's on the inside. The outside is a bonus. But this person has something on the inside that I just can't let go of. There's a genuineness, a pureness, a safeness. You know what I'm saying? How does one know what their spiritual gifts are from God? So for me, when I was learning my spiritual gifts, I had a mentor. This was many, many, many years ago. I had a mentor, and I had prayer groups, and I went to all types of training classes. I went to classes where we learned how to operate in miracles. We learned how to prophesy. We learned how to cast out demons, all the things. So if you have a church, or if not a church, a ministry, let me say that offers those things, I would get under somebody that you trust. Emphasis on you trust. And see if they can help you develop them. Or you can open up your Bible and say, God, I don't know what my gifts are, and I want to find out through you. And you could spend some time fasting and praying and let God show you. Study the gifts that are in the Bible and study people that had those different gifts, and you'll start to see your own. Trust me. You'll be like, oh, I do that. I do that. Hey, God, so how do I get better on that? All right, any other questions? I think the theme for the rest of the year needs to be confidence. Confidence. That needs to be the theme for everybody. Where in my life I'm not confident in my career, not confident in myself, not confident in my gifts, not confident in my speech, not confident in whatever it is. And work on building your confidence in those areas. If you feel like you're not that great of a speaker when you go out and talk to strangers, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on building our confidence, because you have to get to a place where you're so confident in yourself, not cocky, confident where you don't want nobody in your space, in your world, in your mini bubble that is not for you. Period. You don't want to deal with anything that's not for you. You want the best of whatever it is that makes you feel your best self. So if that means you got to get rid of some friends, you got to get rid of some habits, whatever it is, get rid of it. But I want us to be confident women. Like, there just should be no room that you walk into and you don't feel your best because of whatever reason. Because, baby, I don't see nobody when I walk in a room. Okay? Have I ever struggled with self-esteem? I'm pretty sure that there may have been times where I had, but my mom raised us to be confident women. Like, I remember one time my mom took me to work with her, and I was a real little girl, and I was young, and I was walking into her office, and my head was like this, and I was walking down, and she said, "Don't you ever walk with your head down. Baby, that head ain't dropped since." My mother poured into me a lot. So, yeah, not really. Not really. Now, may I have moments where I've been like putting on clothes like, I wish I could do this, or this didn't look like this, or da 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 da. But not really. And then I think the biggest place that it comes from too is that I stopped caring about other people's opinions a long time ago. I don't think I really ever cared about people's opinions for real. Yeah, I really don't think I cared too much, honestly. But when I say I really, really don't care, I don't care. Like, once you get, and when I was in my marriage, he was trying to break my self-esteem down. When I was married, that monster tried to break my self-esteem down. He was my worst enemy because I was so confident. I was all of the things he wanted to be. He tried to break my self-esteem down. And it's crazy because I look back, I see this trend when people like the guy, like the girl, how they were before they were with the guy and then how they were after. And I was like, I can't even do one of those because even though I was going through it, I didn't play about my appearance. I wasn't going to look like what I was going through. There was somewhere where I drew the line. I lost a little bit of weight from being stressed out, but nothing too crazy. But he tried to beat my self-esteem down. But also, again, surround yourself with people that won't let that happen. Surround yourself with people that will build you up in the places that you may be starting to feel not so confident in. And you know what? In some days, there may be days I wake up, I'm like, oh, my skin is not really as glowy as it would be because I'm in this part of my cycle. But guess what? I don't care. Because my most attractive quality I feel like I have is something that cannot be seen. It's something that cannot be seen. And you want people to want you for you, to want to like you for you, and not all of the exterior extras that come with it. Okay? You know what? Heck yeah, because why all my friends be in unhealthy relationships? All of us, I need more girlfriends. We can't all be broken. Exactly. And I had to tell a guy before, because people will put you in a certain bubble thinking that you're just like the status quo, what is common in society or social media. And he made a comment and said, he was like, because most people don't see this and da da da. I said, well, most of my friends are married or in healthy relationships, so I can't relate. Okay, any man that tries to beat down your self-esteem, honey, run. And when I say run, I mean strap up your shoes and run. And even when he would try to beat down my self-esteem, I was so fine. I would wake up and get fine on purpose, because ain't nothing you can say about me. I knew I was pretty on the outside, and I was a good person on the inside. So it was like, stuff you saying about me ain't even true. Don't nobody think that but you. But he tried. Now I just look back and be like, Lord, I understand, and you have turned it off for my good, but woo. A lot of people need to understand that they are the common denominator in every man and woman that comes into your life. is bad issue. Yeah, sometimes. But I think at this age now, like, I'm 38, so there's no more room for somebody coming in my life and it's like, they're like, I don't like, first of all, I'm not accepting any more, no new girlfriends. My friend circle is shops closed. If you didn't get into the friend circle, sorry, not sorry. I have long friendships, like over 20 years, decades long of close people to me, and I don't have a lot of them. I got enough of them. Okay? I have a lot of people that know me, that associate with me. I may go out to dinner, a museum, a festival with them, and hang out with them, but are they my close-knit friend? Absolutely not. Proper people placement. Proper people placement. So when you know how to discern who is who, you're not going to let somebody come into your life, because the reality of it is going to be like, oh yeah, I already know. I can see that person who they are. They only going to get, they can, arm's length. That's as close as you can get. But a lot of people don't know how to see people for who they are up front and put them in the proper category of what level of access they will have in your life. And then also, too, to your point, the common denominator could be you, because every person that came into your life could be bad. You know what I'm saying? But you could be that type of person that's easily preyed on, that accepts poor behavior because of your own trauma. So you become prey to those kind of people. That's why people will be like, oh, I keep attracting the same person, or you keep choosing the same person, because that person, they can smell the sin on you, and they're like, oh, she's easy prey, or he's easy prey. They could sniff you out. So the common denominator will still be you, but it's because you're choosing that person, right? It doesn't, because I don't want somebody to feel like, maybe it's something wrong with me. And really, honestly, it's just that they need to do some healing work, because they're so genuine, so pure, so nice, so loving, so open, so giving. And they want to see everybody like Christ does, but they blind themselves to the bad part. I once went through a little bit of that crisis. I was at a place in my life, in my journey with God. God, I just want to have a heart like you, and I want to see everybody like you do, God, and da 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 da. And I started seeing everybody like him, like, oh, they're not that bad. They're just da 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 da. No, then God gave me a prophetic word too. He said the discernment I've given you, you're going to be able to discern evil from good like this. And I said, you're right. I need to stop ignoring what I'm saying. Need to stop ignoring what I'm saying. I was thinking about making a video on friendships and adulthood. You should. I'm going to do a couple story times. They going to be probably more funny than anything, because I had 3 different friends that should have been assignments, but we live and we learn, that I'm going to do a story time on, because some people be secretly jealous of you. I'm seeing more women dating and getting married later in life, in their mid-30s and 40s. Why do you think that is? I think it's just the times that we're in. I think back in the day, things were differently, societally, etc. And, our grandmas and them married for security, and they really didn't have as much options and choices in order to get married, right? So they got married young. Over time, things have evolved, and because things have evolved, it's opened up the doors and opportunities for people to make different decisions. I think this is just where we are in this part of life, is that people are doing life differently because they're learning differently. We have more people going to therapy. We have more people that are taking their time. More people that are more self-aware. So I think that, like, the people that are getting married later, I think it's okay, honestly. Like, I got married at 33. If let me not say that. If I would have gotten married later, I would have been okay with that. Because I think, and also too, I think people are starting to see life as more abundant than what people have seen it. And people have taken themselves out of that space of, oh, I have to get this done by this age. Like, it's no longer this socially accepted thing that if you're married at this point. I know a lot of people that are even in like their 40s and 50s that are getting divorced because they married for the wrong reasons. And they're like, oh, I married because she looked good on paper and da 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 da, but I didn't really love her, or I didn't really love him. I think people now, they've had time to see a little bit of life. They've got to live a little. They've got to grow. And then now it's like, okay, now I actually want to settle down. The rules of engagement are changing. They're changing. I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. I don't think it's a bad thing. But that's also, I saw a girl, I think she was saying it on her YouTube podcast. She was saying that's why she was like, some of the information that some of the married women that have been married for a long time, some of the tips and things they're trying to give the single women, it's old and it's stale because you're not out here in the dating world, so you don't see what's going on. So it's like, yeah, you might have like a surface level of what that looks like, but you're not really in the field. So it's like single women who are in the field or been in the field within the last 5 years, I think they're more qualified to give another single person some type of advice because they've been in the field. But if you've been married for 40 years, you need to talk to the married folk. And I couldn't agree more. Not saying that married women can't give single women wisdom, but when I think when it comes to dating in this day and age, if you're not in the field, you don't know what's out there because it wasn't the same. So it's like, give your tips on like other stuff, but if you ain't experienced, if you're not in the field in 2025, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, or if you're at least not in the conversation. My homeboy always sending me something crazy. They be like, send her a telegram and tell her how you feel. Right. Like, I can appreciate, or even a woman that's been married within the last 5 years. I'll even take that, right? Because you was in the field and you got out. So, because people nowadays, they're meeting people, they're getting engaged, they're getting married, they're not wasting time. So, I could even see them. But, like, the more seasoned women, I think that they should be giving advice to engaged women and married women. Because that just would make more sense to me. Because the girls that are in the field, the conversation is different. The conversation is different. I think if you have dated past COVID really changed a lot in aspects of life. I think dating significantly changed since then. I think the most important thing is that you have to really pay attention to where you're meeting these men, okay? And be realistic about it. Be realistic about where you are when you have met these men that ended up being no good or whatever it ended up being. Be realistic about it. Environment matters. Environment matters, okay? And I'm not talking about going to sit at a bar at a hotel, or I'm not talking about that. You could be at a conference. There's at a gala. There's so many different places that you could be in. You could be at the grocery store and meet somebody, good or bad. But pay some of these environments that some women go into. It's like, you really thought you was gonna meet somebody there of quality? For real? I read an article that stated that marriage rating among Gen Z will be the lowest in history. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's because I see marriage everywhere right now. Everybody's getting married. And I don't buy into people's statistics, because I think a lot of the stuff that the media puts out there is programmed and unrealistic. It's hard for me to take advice from the long-standing marriages that originated out of trauma. They might be good now, but he was an abuser initially. He or she cheated, but we good. Okay, like when Lateris was getting all of that flack for having that couple on there, and the husband cheated, and they passed her church, and I was just like, it's a testimony, you know. There's a testimony, but some stuff, I don't want no struggle love. No, thank you. Mm-mm. No, thank you. I have a lot to say, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Mm-mm. These social media streets are different. I'll just say that. Yeah, I was like, if anything, I felt like it was more entertaining than anything. I'm like, but do I want y'all to counsel me and my husband? Nope. Because I'm not ironing your clothes and getting your clothes ready for you to go out and cheat on me. No. Mm-hmm. I do think something was off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Completely. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Like I don't think that that's the part that is the issue. Keeping your relationship covered in private, I'm 100% with that, because I don't think social media ever know who my husband is. Like, no. I have no desire to show social media my husband. None whatsoever. So, in that aspect, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All I'm gonna say is, we all gonna see. We gonna all sit back and see. Cause I'm gonna talk about it one day. That day ain't gonna be today, but one day I'm gonna talk about something. Y'all that know gonna know. But baby, I'm just gonna say I agree. I felt the same way and leave it at that. Because even some of the timing of things were just like, huh? Really? But I'm gonna mind my business and let God be God. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, child. Cause I can't. I've had my private conversations about it, but I can't say it on this here platform. They be having Christian marriages and don't be operating under no type of covenant. When you mean covenant, you mean God as in covenant? Because marriage is a covenant. Or you mean... Because I saw a girl get online one day and said that her and her husband was married, but not legally, just they had a spiritual something, child. I was like, child, what you got was hoodwinked. That's what that is. Cause I just be like, when people tell their story, I just be wanting them to be like, if you gonna tell it, tell it. Tell the whole story, because I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm teeter tottering. Anywho, anything else y'all want to talk about tonight? Anything else you would like to talk about tonight, ladies? What is this? I really don't want to do that, honestly. Nothing? Are we good? We Gucci? We golden? Nothing else anybody wants to talk about? If not, I'm going to get off of here, have me a little snack, and get ready for bed. I need to shoot some content before I go to bed tonight. I need to shoot some content. About to go to bed and hug my pillow. Okay. Because I have like 3-4 products from the TikTok shop that I have not recorded for, and I need to get on my Zoom. All right, y'all have a good night. I'm going to put the replay up on YouTube, so if you missed the whole live, you can go to my YouTube channel, you can subscribe, and the live will be uploaded over there.